They're about 5 feet long and an inch to an inch and a half around. They look normal except for the tail that's plated, pretty as a leather whip. The plate doesn't unbraid, but stays together and is hard in form and keen as a needle. The snake whips itself around a person, cow, dog, or whatever else it happened to be attacking. Then it kills it either by whipping or running it to death. I don't know if they kill it to eat it or not. It's hard to imagine one eating a cow. Whip snakes are not so poisonous. They look sort of like a black snake, only their tail looks like a black whip, looks like it's been plated. And they can sling that and hit you and cut you just like a knife. I was coming down an old trailway and heard something that cracked just like a whip or a .22 rifle. Right below me, just a little piece like from here and that be gum. And I think, what in the world was that? I went kinda slow, looking to see what I could see. I thought somebody maybe shot a .22 rifle. Went just like a whip crack. I got pretty close where I thought it was. I seen that snake, and I believe it was the longest one here and above, and it was a running right at where I heard that. And it was black. If it weren't a Coachwhip, I don't know what it was. I believe that thing hit something with its tail. Priceless. Now, obviously they're talking about a Coachwhip snake. None of that is true. Coachwhips don't chase cows, dogs, or us, and they don't go slithering around cracking their tail as a whip. But the stories are interesting. And it's just like a lot of stories that has been passed down for a long period of time. And I'm interested to see how these stories actually started. Now, this book is from the 1960s, and the people that the stories are from, they're old-timers that grew up hunting and living life in the woods back when some things were still wild. And I mean, not everything, because back in the 1960s, we've already chopped down pretty much all the trees. Even back then, most things were second growth. However, it was still a lot more wild. A lot less towns, a lot less urban sprawl. And the people that are telling these stories in this book have probably been there when things were really wild. But where did these stories come from? Did they play out from real events? I think probably not. More than likely, they're just stories. They're just stories that their grandparents told them, that their uncles told them, and they persist until now. There's different variations. They're not told the exact same way. But if I go ask just random people, well, what does a Coachwhip do? And they're going to say they crack their tail like a whip. I've even heard stories about Coachwhips will chase you and they will run you down to the point that when you collapse and faint, they'll put their tail by your nose to check and see if you're still breathing. So that's ridiculous, and it's kind of comical, actually. What's even more comical is why people believe this, and I think it's as simple as lack of experience. Gonna stay lack of experience because they hear these stories or newer ones that might sound believable to them, and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna stay away from this snake because obviously it's dangerous. I think that's it. There's a bunch of snake lure in this book, and I'll probably read some more of it, and maybe we'll try to figure out where some of this crazy snake lure came from. And I'm sure it's somewhat connected with our fears. In fact, if let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please like it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.